What is happening, ladder climbers? It's Antoine Wade from blockheights.com, www.blokheights.com. And this is a test run for what you're going to get beginning every Monday through Friday, starting next month at 7 a.m. I'm going to tell you like this, guys, beginning of or actually mid-August, I'm going to be going live every single morning. So you're going to have an accountability partner, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. And we're going to be talking about real money, real career moves, and none of that BS that you guys are being fed on a day-to-day basis regarding whatever else that you're watching. Because a lot of the times what I'm finding out is that these shows and this content that we're digesting, a lot of it's full of BS and you're not getting ahead. So your boy's going to come live with you every single morning and ensure that you guys have an accountability partner. So let's dive into it, man. Tonight we're going to be talking about something that it's going to blow your mind. Google's still paying software engineers $300,000 a year, while new grads can't even get a callback. You got new grads that's complaining about not having a job and filling out hundreds and hundreds of applications, sometimes even thousands, and they can't get a single freaking callback. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're also going to be talking about, exactly what's happening and what you need to do about it. So let's do this. If you guys are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you guys are coming to us from. Where my ladder climbers are tuning in from tonight as well, too, man. What's up, ladder climbers? I see you guys in the house. I see the life of Cam in the house. He says, "Good day, Mr. Wade." NC Realtor's in the house. Teresa's in the house. All the ladder climbers in the house, man. I am excited to be here with you guys. And while you're here, go ahead and hit that like button because this information is about to save somebody's career. I am telling you that right now. It's going to save somebody's career. And we're going to dive into it today because I only have about an hour of content and we're going to get to work. That's what we're going to do. We are going to get to work. I see Dark Man Jeff in the house. He said, "What's good, Antoine?" in chat, hailing from South Carolina, the Charleston, man, the Charleston. Riding Ranchers in the house. I'm a new grad in tech and AI from Houston, Texas. Man, that's awesome, Riding Rancher. Riding Rancher 9 says he's in tech and he's in AI and he's a new grad. I love it. Life of Cam's coming to us from Tulsa. Miss Wade is coming to us from Brookfield, Wisconsin. That's where she's coming to us from. Brookfield, Wisconsin. NC Realtor is coming to us from the beautiful state of North Carolina. Good to see you guys, man. It's so good to see the ladder climbers continue to show up on a Monday evening. We're going to be making changes though, guys. August 15th, middle August, this show is going to switch from 6 p.m. on every Mondays to where it's going to be 7 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. I'm going to give you guys an hour of my morning, Monday through Friday, and we're going to hold ourselves accountable. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to take lead to make sure that I'm up early every morning to give you guys this game on what's going on in the news, what's going on for your career, things that you can look out for. And you're going to get the game and you're going to get the news source so that you can start your day off on the right foot. That's what we're going to be doing middle of August, 7 a.m. in the morning. And I'm excited about it. It's a big commitment, but in order for me to take the next stage and the next steps in my career, in the next steps with the Black Heights Ladder Climbers, that is what I'm going to be doing. We got Miss Michelle coming to us from Atlanta. We got the real Jay Watkins says phenomenal. Brandon is coming to us from NC, man. I love it. I love it. I'm excited about it as well too. But let's get into the first segment of this show today. We're going to be talking about layoffs, man. Layoffs are getting worse in 2025, but Google's still paying people 300K, $300,000 a year, man. That's a lot of money. Check this out. So, Business Insider, they just dropped the real salary data from Google for 2025. And I want you guys to pay attention to these numbers that I'm going to share with you guys because they tell a story. Software engineers at Google. We're talking about some of the technical guys. AI, our friend riding rancher, says he's in AI. He just graduated in tech and AI from Houston, Texas. One of the things that a lot of engineers, especially ones who are graduating, they're concerned because of AI and how it can do software engineering. But software engineers at Google, they're making a lot of money. You don't believe me? I'm gonna show you right now. Software engineers at Google, we're talking about $280,000 to $350,000 a year. That's how much these guys are making, guys. $280,000 to $350,000 a year. That's not including stock. That's not including bonuses, and that is base salary. You guys see that? That's what Google is paying their software engineers, technical program managers. They're making $250,000 to $320,000 a year. Many of you guys don't even know what this kind of job is. Many of you guys don't even know what this kind of job is, but they're making $250,000 to $320,000 a year. These are the guys that manage the project managers. These are the guys that manage programs. These are the jobs that you can be doing right now. And they're paying their program managers $250,000 to $320,000 a year, not including stock, not including bonuses. This is just base salary. Product managers, they're making $270,000 to $380,000. These are the CEOs of the product. These are the individuals who are responsible for the selling of the product, the development of the project, making sure that the product is doing what it's supposed to do for its customers and it's keeping the customers happy, and that it continues to be updated with the latest and greatest from the market. This is a lot of freaking money that people are being paid. You got data scientists. They're getting paid $260,000 to $330,000 a year. You got UX designers, $220,000 to $290,000 a year. That's what these guys are getting paid. That is exactly what these guys are getting paid. Can you guys see this? Insane. Now, here's what it is that gets me fired up about this. Here's what gets me fired up about this. While Google is paying these salaries, we got new college graduates who can't even get a $50,000 job interview. Google's paying all these high salaries across the board, while college grads who are just graduating, my man Rancher riding Rancher 9, just graduated college. Hopefully you got a job. But if you don't, we understand. We understand. College grads right now can't even get a $50,000 job, and they can't even get an interview. They can't get a job. They can't get an interview. I got a niece who is in the house with us right now. She has a job at Deloitte. She got a job at Deloitte. She MIS major from University of Oklahoma. She worked with me. She got a job. She went to University of Oklahoma. She made sure that she did her internship. She made sure that she did the little things that we talked about in the Ladder Climate community, the Heights community, the Patreon. She did every single bit of it, and she followed directions, and she did it well. She got friends who graduated from the University of Wisconsin. No job. No job at all. Now, what's the difference here? What's the difference? Let me tell you what's really happening here. These Google employees just didn't get degrees and hope for the best. They learned skills that businesses actually need. They understood that companies don't pay you for what you know, they pay you for what problems that you can actually solve for them. I will say that one more time. These individuals understood that companies don't pay you for what you know, they pay you for what problems that you can actually solve. And here's the real talk. Most of these high paid Google folks, they got skills outside of their degree. The software engineers making $300,000, her or he probably learned sales skills to communicate with stakeholders better. The product manager making $380,000 a year, she probably learned data analysis beyond what school taught her. Simple Excel and, pivot tables and little things like that. They ultimately stack skills. They didn't just rely on a diploma. They didn't just rely on a diploma. Ryan Rancher says, I don't have a job. I've been applying. See, the real Jay Watkins says, I'm the CEO of products, and right now on the back end, it's not the functioning properly. So hopefully they look into their back end. All their employees deserve to be compensated fairly. Miss Michelle or Miss Missy, the creatress, says, AI educator here. The real Jay Watkins says, what's going on with the new in third party platforms? Data breaches like Meta fail to recognize you're a human who have three factors verification, blah blah blah. Darkman Jeff says, oh wow, phenomenal. I'm gonna tell you like this, guys. I see someone in this chat probably saying or asking, Antoine, how do you get these skills? Well, how do you get these skills? I'm gonna show you guys how to get these skills. $300,000 skills, $300,000 roles. They require technical excellence. They require technical excellence. That's what they require. These are some of the skills right here that these individuals got. And because while Google is printing money for people with the right skills, there's a whole generation that's struggling right now. And it's not their fault. Nobody taught them the game. Nobody taught them the game. But here's the skills that these individuals need and these individuals have: technical excellence, good communication skills, cross team collaboration, problem solving skills, business impact focus, continuous learning. These are the skills that these individuals have. And it starts with technical excellence. They mastered what they do. Now, these are the guys that are using AI tools, software engineering tools, and they are crushing it, doing the job of 5 programmers. And at the end of the day, here's the thing, man. The folks who don't have a job yet, my man Riding Rancher, it's not your fault. You just haven't been taught the game yet, but I'm glad you are here. I am so glad that you are on this channel. Because all you got to do is join the Heights community and you will get the game, the skills that you need in order for you to get that next job, land that next job, work with the right people, network with the right people. It's all part of the Heights community. That's what it's about. And I'm glad that you were here. You're choosing to be here right now because you're wanting to learn and you're willing to learn. My man Tang Lin says, domain mastery. He works for Google. Chang, tell him that you work for Google. That's my boy. My boy Chang. He's in Seattle right now. He works for Google. Technical program manager, technical product manager, managing a whole bunch of people, and he's making a crap load of money. I went to grad school with him. Technical excellence, good communication skills. Chang has fantastic communication skills. He knows how to work with a whole bunch of people from different organizations. He's done it. He's proved it. He knows how to solve problems. That's why he's paid $300,000+ a year, and that doesn't even include bonuses, stock, doesn't include any of that sort of stuff. That's it. That's it, guys. I just gave you guys the game. I gave you guys the game. I guess we can call the show. We can be done with the show, right? We can be done with the show, right? Because I just gave you guys a game. Let's continue on, though. I want to move on to the next segment of the show, wherein we're going to be reacting to videos. We're going to be reacting to some videos that came across my timeline about layoffs in 2025 and college grads struggling to find work. Now, I want you guys to watch this with me, and then I'm going to break down what's really happening here. Let me jump over to the chats real quick. My man Ryan Ranger says, problem is learning the right things. There's a ton of information out there. There's a lot of information out there. There is a ton of information out there. And if you aren't able to decipher the good stuff from the bad stuff, and you're just choosing to go from one way to the next way to the next way, somebody says do this, somebody do this, you're never ever going to get anywhere. It's about committing. It's about committing and it's about owning it, and it's about staying disciplined. Shiny object syndrome is real bad right now, especially with social media out there. I even find myself doing it every once in a while. I go and prepare for a live stream like this. Next, you know, I'm on my phone scrolling, looking at other content, but I should be looking at content that's going to help me prepare for the show. Shiny object syndrome. And there's so much information out there. And I will tell you like this, Ryan Rancher, the best way to eliminate all that is to get with somebody like Chain, get with somebody who's a mentor, get with somebody who's actually living in that world and doing that work. That's the best way to go about doing it. Okay. Now let's jump over to the reactions, guys. I want you guys to see what's really happening right now, because people in these videos, they're telling the truth about the problem, but nobody's really giving them the real solutions. So we're going to watch this scale. Let's jump on to the first one.
Nobody wants to work anymore. I don't know why nobody wants to work. As a 21-year-old female in this dog shit economy, I can tell you, we all want to work. You all just say, urgently hiring, and we hear nothing back. And if you're lucky enough to even make it to the interview, nobody wants to work anymore. I don't know why nobody wants to work. As a 21-year-old female in this dog shit economy, I can tell you, we all want to work. You all just say, urgently hiring, and we hear nothing back. And if you're lucky enough to even make it to the interview,
Y'all heard her. You guys heard her. I call this the crash out. I call this the crash out. Y'all see what y'all just watched? Look, I feel for it, man. I really do. The struggle is real, though. But I got to keep it 100 with you guys, man. She just crashed out on camera and doesn't even realize it. She doesn't even realize it. Now, imagine this. Just imagine you are a hiring manager. Scrolling on TikTok, you got your phone, you got your YouTube going, right? After a long day, you just want to relax your mind and you're scrolling on TikTok. And next you know, you see all these layoffs because you're a bit paranoid about layoffs yourself. And you come across this video. You're looking at someone who's complaining about not finding work while literally making content instead of working on their skills. You think the hiring manager is going to say, you know what? Let me give this person a chance. Or are they going to say, this is exactly the attitude that I don't want on my team? You see, what's happening here with a lot of the Gen Z right now, and I'm going to say this with a whole bunch of love because I do want y'all to win. I mean, this Uncle Antoine right here, this big brother. There's this mentality that the world owes you something because you got a degree. The world told you you're going to get your degree, you're going to have yourself a job. Your parents told you get yourself a degree, you're going to have yourself a job. You're going to buy yourself a house, you're going to make all kinds of money. And when reality hits, you realize that the degree don't guarantee nothing. And instead of adapting, y'all get on TikTok and crash out. That's what y'all do. Y'all get on TikTok and crash out. Now, I'm not saying the job market ain't tough, because it is. And I'm not saying employers are perfect, because they're not. And a lot of them suck. But let me tell you what employees or employers are really complaining about when it comes down to young workers. This is what employers, people in the companies that are making some of these hiring decisions, they're complaining about. First thing is this: the expectation that you should start at the top. Because many of you guys think you got your degree, you think you know it all, you should start at the top. That's what y'all want, right? That's what y'all said. You want the salary, you want the respect, you want the flexibility, you want to work wherever you want to work, but you haven't proven that you can handle the basics yet. The second thing, there's a resistance to doing what y'all call little things. coming in early, staying late when you need to, actually listening to your manager instead of thinking that you know better on day one. And here's the real talk that's going to save some careers. Every successful person that you admire, every single one of them, they did the little things when nobody was watching. I come from a small town called Orangeburg, South Carolina. My man, Darkman Jeff, knows exactly where that is, right up the road from him. You think I got to where I am by complaining on social media about how unfair things are? How unfair things were? My color, my skin? I'm not from an Ivy League institution? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Hell no. I did internships. I did unpaid internships. I quit a paying job to take an unpaid internship because I knew it would teach me something. I got evicted from an apartment for doing such a thing in college. For those unpaid internships and for that unpaid internship, I came in early. I stayed late. I listened to the people who knew more than I did. And yeah, I'm going to tell you like this, sometimes it absolutely sucked. Sometimes I felt unappreciated. Sometimes I wanted to quit. But I understood that something that this generation is struggling with, you don't get paid for your potential, you get paid for your results. That's what I understood. That's what I really understood. Let me jump over to the chats real quick. Real Eli J. Watkins says Google has strong engineer programs, but I built beyond platforms with secure offline innovation. Miss Elijah. This is important for the future because it protects real humans by ensuring their identity and creativity are secure. Darkman Jess says not a whole lot complaining in Orangeburg. Getting out of the trenches in that town. You got to. And I did that. I did that. Darkman Jeff says folks love to crash out on Beyonce's internet. Oh man. It's true. They do like to crash out. And some of y'all in the chat right now, maybe many of y'all may be getting defensive. Antoine, you don't understand our generation. You don't understand. Who is this fellow over here talking to us? Why are you talking to us like that? Uncle Antoine, calm down, man. But listen, I'm not here to bash Generation Z. Y'all are smart people. You're creative. Y'all got skills that I wish I had. Y'all got looks that I wish I had. Geniuses, y'all grew up on the internet. We didn't have the internet. Y'all grew up on the internet. Y'all had everything at your fingertips. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all got some blind spots. Y'all got blind spots that are keeping y'all broke. And if I don't tell you the truth, who else is going to tell you the truth? Your mama ain't going to tell you the truth. Your mama and daddy already lied to you about going to college and going to get a full-time job right away. Guaranteed. The world has already lied to you already, just like they lied to us. But here's what I see happening. Y'all will spend hours perfecting TikTok videos, but won't spend 30 minutes learning Excel. Y'all will research perfect outfits for content, but you won't research the computers that you're applying to or the companies. You won't research any of that stuff. You won't research how to code. You won't research how to use AI tools. But you'll spend a whole bunch of time bunking up in a TikTok video making sure your butt looks good. Or you'll spend a whole bunch of time getting your Jordans on and putting your swag on, putting your chain on. You'll spend a whole bunch of time doing that sort of stuff. But you won't spend time researching the companies that you're applying to. Or even researching the types of computers that you need. Y'all will network on social media for all the likes. But you won't network professionally for opportunities. And then when things don't work out, instead of looking in the mirror, y'all make videos about how the system is broken. get on TikTok and booming up. Next thing you know, you're making videos, crashing out. That's what y'all do. That's what y'all do. Let me be clear here. The system is broken in a lot of ways. I'm talking about a lot of ways we've all been lied to about got job guarantees, going to college, and all this other stuff. I've been lied to. I've been lied to about a whole bunch of stuff. But complaining about it on TikTok, it ain't going to pay your bills. Complaining about it on TikTok, complaining about it on YouTube Shorts, complaining about it on Instagram, it isn't going to pay your bills. Learning skills that employers need, now that's going to pay your bills. Showing up with the right attitude, that's going to pay your bills. Proving that you can solve problems instead of creating them, that's going to pay your bills. So here's my challenge to every single Gen Z that's out there and watching this. Uncle Antoine put you guys, I'm going to give you guys a nice little challenge. For the next 30 days, spend as much time developing professional skills as you do creating content. Learn something that employers actually need. Practice communicating like a professional. Research industries that are hiring at this point in time. And stop posting videos about how hard it is to find work while you're supposed to be looking for work. Because I promise you, employers are watching this stuff. And videos like this, they're not helping your case. I want y'all to succeed. That's why I do this on Monday nights. I want y'all to succeed. That's why I'm going to do this every morning starting next month. But success requires more than talent and potential. It requires showing up. It requires doing work. And sometimes doing the things that you don't want to do. There's sometimes I don't want to show up on a Monday night. I had to show up last Sunday because I was in Mexico all week. I didn't want to do a lot of things in my career. I still don't, but I know I got to. This is not generational advice. This is life advice. And if you're ready to hear that truth and do something about it, you're going to be just fine. If you're going to keep making these excuses on TikTok and instead of making moves in real life, you're going to stay exactly where you are. And that would be a waste of all the potential that you guys had and all the money that your parents helped you with school with, all the student debt that you took on, all the loans that you took out. It'd be a waste of all that potential. That's what it's going to be. Jump into the chats. One girl says, dope channel, dope content. I'm doing an internship at a data center as an engineer operations. This is my ticket out. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. The real Eli Hawkins says, I don't scroll. You design solution through augmented reality, book NFTs, and more. IT Wizard says, spit them facts. I'm trying to, my man. I'm trying to. Chang Lin says, it's true that it's much harder to get a good role in top companies. They're seeking people who can solve problems that they cannot. That's the reason they're looking externally for help. It's true, man. Chang Lin just said it. He's working for one of the biggest brands that's out there. The real Jayhawk said they're 56 years behind me. That's what's real happening. I don't know what you keep saying, man. You typing a lot, my man. You typing a whole bunch right now. Chartman Jess says a lot of my classmates was graduating from college during the Great Recession. A bunch of us had to go back to working at Walmart and Subway until something decent came about. Talk about struggle, right? Here's the thing, Darkman Jeff. They don't understand that we've been through this. Many people have already gone through this. The 2008 recession was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. The Life of Canada says ultimately it's your generation trying to hire us. We can't shrug you all off just like yes yet. I'm telling you, man, us millennials, we're getting higher and higher in the world. We're getting higher and higher on that corporate ladder. You know how it is. We were the generation that took a whole bunch of it. The life of Cam. So you're absolutely right. This generation is the one that's doing the hiring. You're right, man. You're right. All right, let's move on to the next one.
I am a senior at Cornell. I've applied to over 300 jobs. Who has a job right now? It kind of sucks because the school's expensive. I'm an econ major. I have a 3.7 GPA, and I cannot get a full-time job. The only reason I'm not broke is because I've saved up working on campus and then also doing class action settlements on claim. Basically, brands pay you out. So I made like 8K doing that so far. Definitely recommend it. It's passive income. But if I didn't have that, I would literally be broke. I cannot get a job. I don't know, I might be cooked. What do I do?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Wow. It doesn't matter where you went to school. People at Ivy Leagues are so entitled. He went to Ivy League. He went to Ivy League school, man. Ivy League economics major. Can't find a full-time job. Making money off campus work and class action settlements. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say the education system is broken. You got someone who probably spent $200,000 on an Ivy League degree, and they're out here doing side hustles to survive. And I bet you this person walked across the graduation stage thinking that companies are going to fight over him. Oh man, you know what? I went to Brown, I went to Cornell. I got everybody going to be fighting over me. I'm going to have so many jobs. You know, he talked to his friends about that who didn't go to Cornell or Brown or Princeton or Harvard. He talked to all his friends about his Ivy League education. And he was like, I'm going to have me a job. You know, he said that. You know, he said that. For all the ones who went to the community colleges who did it right to save some money, all the ones who went to the state and local university, this man was crapping on y'all. You know he was. You know he was. Oh, he ain't smart as me. His parents probably doing the exact same thing. You know how you were in high school, right? You find out somebody what school they was going to. You going to Ivy League school. You're like, oh man, it was smart. But the people in Ivy League school, you kind of look down. Even if you go to a state school like the University of Wisconsin or something like that, somebody was going to University of Milwaukee or Oshkosh, kind of look down and be like, all right, that's smart enough. That's what he was doing to y'all. Now he can't find a job. Went to Cornell, 3.7 GPA, economics major, can't find a job. Let me tell y'all something, man. Your school doesn't owe you a job. Your degree doesn't owe you a salary. The world doesn't owe you anything. What matters is what you did while you were in that expensive ass classroom. That's what matters. And that's why a lot of people are falling behind right now, especially the college grads, because this is what they did in the class. They just did the work, partied, hung out with their friends. I've had a conversation with a young gentleman who just graduated from college with an MIS degree. Smart kid, New York. Couldn't find a job, didn't have a job. This is what I asked him. Did you do internships? No, I didn't do internships. God dang, man. Did you build any real skills? Did you work at all during that time you was in school? No, I didn't work, man. Did you solve actual business problems? No, I didn't work, man. Or did you just show up, get good grades, and expect your school's reputation to carry you? Yeah, that's what I did, man. Yeah. He didn't say it like that. He didn't say it like that. But he's like, let me tell you what my niece did. My niece went to the classroom, did her work, did internship, summer work, boosted her resume, talked to the right people, went to every single one of the on campus career employment opportunities that they were given at University of Oklahoma. Every single one of them, even the ones that she didn't want to be at, I told her to go. You never know who you're going to run into, what email you're going to use, what email contact that you can use later on in life. You never know who you're going to run into. And here's the part that's going to make some people mad right now. A lot of these Ivy League students, they are so focused on being socially conscious and part of what I call the liberal academic mob that they forgot to learn skills that businesses actually need. They spent 4 years learning theory about how the world should work instead of learning how it actually works. I was out in college and I cared about everything. I cared about the fairness of this kind of person, the fairness of this kind of people, the fairness of people right here. You got people in this chat talking about, I don't listen to this person, I don't listen to the white man, black man, I don't listen to whatever it is, right? You got people in this chat that stop talking like this right now. The world doesn't owe you anything. And all you're spending your time on is BS. And that's what these individuals who went to these woke colleges, they spent 4 years learning about theory and how the world should work instead of how it actually works. The world is changing, man. Companies don't care about your school's prestige anymore. They care about results. Can you generate revenue? Can you solve problems? Can you make their lives easier? That's what they care about. And that's what they're paying you for. So this is to this young man. Stop leaning on that Ivy League degree because it ain't going to save you. Start asking yourself, what value can I bring to a company today? What problems can I solve that other candidates can't? Because right now, you're competing with people who have been working while you were studying. Right now, you are competing with people who have been working for 15, 16, 17 years and will take the entry level job again because they need work. They're in a bad position in their lives. And they don't care where you went to school. They don't care where you went to school. And the companies, the employers, they just want to know if you can do the job. Now, here's what this man needs to do. I'll tell you what you guys need to do. Pick an industry. Pick any industry. Research the problems that they're facing. And you can use ChatGPT, you can use Google Gemini, you can use Claude, you can use Grok, you can use whatever AI tool that you want to use. Learn the skills to solve that problem or those problems. Build a portfolio showing that you can deliver results. Network with people actually working in that industry. And stop thinking that your degree is going to make you special. Stop thinking that degree is what makes you special. Oh man, I went to Cornell. I'm special. No, you're not. Nobody cares. Your results are the ones that make you special. That's it. That's the game. That's the game. Your results are what makes you special. I got 43 people in this chat right now watching me. Right? Years ago, only had 8. The results, the channel growing, me delivering better content, me delivering better talking points like I'm talking about now. It's what delivers results, and that's what makes me better. Me showing up on a Monday, me showing up on a Tuesday and Thursday to drop my pre-recorded videos. That's what makes you better, the results. It's not about what degree that you have. Hope you guys understand that. Let me jump over to the chats real quick. IT Wizard said 2008 was crazy. I worked for Circuit City as an engineer. It folded. I started at another company, which folded 1 year later, and I got laid off from another company 2 years later. Never looked back. I love it, man. Circuit City, that was a big one. They fell bad, man. Circuit City was like the Best Buy. Best Buy still hanging on too. Lulu Ray says, I used to hear that there was Harvard graduates working as waiters because they couldn't get a job. It's true. They are. They aren't special either. Just because they went to Harvard, they aren't special. Darkman Jess says, I always told that you go to those schools for a network. It's true. Now, here's the thing about people who go to those schools too. A lot of them are so lazy they don't even network. They just go to school and get the work done and don't even meet people. Life of Cam says, join the military as an officer. Get out after one contract and make six figures. True. Zeke Alive says, with his econ degree, he needs to do some data analytics or some BI boot camp. Right? Right. He'll smart kid, obviously. So he has potential. He just needs some coaching. He needs to watch this Elevate to an Unknown channel. That's what he needs to do. Chang Lin says, what kind of problems can you solve? That's exactly it, Mr. Chang. That's exactly it. What kind of problems can you solve going to Cornell as an Ivy League school? Right now, he doesn't have any that he can solve. It's true, man. All right, let's move on to the next one.
I got fired this morning from a company I have been working at for the last 8 years. I've had the same boss for the last 8 years, and yeah, it happened this morning. 9 a.m., I had a meeting booked with my boss. Our HR business partner immediately joins the call. They tell me that due to restructuring, they have to make hard decisions, and they have decided, after review at all leadership levels, that my job will be terminated. This came as a massive shock. There was no performance improvement plan. There was no conversation about how I could have been performing better. They essentially just told me, effective Friday, your role is no longer here. My only question I could muster the strength to ask is like, what's happening with my team? Are they also being let go? And they said that they could not answer that question at the time.
8 years. 8 years. Same company. Same manager. Damn. They terminate her on a call with HR. HR joined the call randomly. You're on the phone with your manager, right? Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, catching him up for the day. Next you know, HR joins the call. You already know when HR joins that call, what's happening. You already know what's happening. Look, now this one hits a little different. Because this is something that can happen to any of us, especially in this type of a job market. This one hits different because this one could happen to any of us. You think that you're safe? You think that your loyalty matters? In the words of my man, Orlando Minor, these companies ain't loyal. You think doing good work protects you? That's what you think. That's what they told you. Sit back, just wait your time. You're safe. Stay loyal to your company. That's going to protect you. Then one day, HR joins a regular call and your whole life changes. Here's what this video should teach every single person that's watching this right now. Loyalty is a one-way street in corporate America. You can give a company 8 years of your life, and they'll end it in an 8-minute call. Now, I'm not saying don't be loyal to your work, because what I'm telling you to do is be excellent at what you do. If you become excellent at what you do, especially in your job, you're probably excellent at other things in your life, especially if you have a good amount of balance. I'm not saying don't be loyal to your work. I want you guys to be excellent at what you do and be excellent at your work, but don't be loyal to a company. And don't confuse being excellent with being safe. And this is exactly why I preach multiple streams of income. This is exactly why I'll tell y'all to always be networking, even when you are happy. You got your nice little paychecks, you're making $200,000, $300,000 a year. Still continue to be networking. That's why you should be part of the Heights community. Whatever community it is, doesn't have to be the Heights community. Doesn't have to be the Heights Patreon. It could be whatever it is. You still should be networking. This is exactly why you need to keep your skills sharp and your LinkedIn updated as well. Because companies will cut you to improve quarterly numbers and they'll sleep just fine the same night that they cut you. For this young lady who just lost her job after 8 years and 8 years working for the manager, she probably was like, I'm not going to get fired. They love me. They love me at my company. I've been there 8 years. Been going to the party, eating the barbecue, turning up, having a good time. Sheila ain't gonna talk. Sheila not gonna fire me. She having a good time. She walking around with her head held high, and she tells people that she's a manager of XYZ company and she has a team. You can't tell me nothing. Any man that comes and walks up to her, if you don't look right, she get out of my face. You broke. You broke. That's what's probably what she did. Loyal to the company. Loyal to a boss. Talking to a boss, thinking her boss is a friend, having a good conversation. Next you know, HR Jones call. Didn't even give her an opportunity to, or didn't even give her an answer when she talked about her team. They wasn't letting go of her team. They was letting go her. And here's what she should do. Here's what she should do. The first thing that she should do is take 24 hours to feel whatever that she needs to feel, because it's devastating. I mean, you can tell by her face, she's been crying. It took her a whole bunch of strength to get on TikTok and make this video right here. I know it took her a long time to make this video. You can tell in her face. But after that, after 24 hours, get back up. Remember who you are. 8 years of experience doesn't disappear because you got terminated. The skills that you built, the relationships that you made, the problems that you solved, that is all the work that you did. That's all the work and effort and the blood and sweat and tears and all the people that you rejected and all the people that you dissed and all the people that you turned your side eye to and gave the side eye. That's all yours. And here's the opportunity in a setback. You've been at one company for 8 years. You probably got comfortable. You probably stopped learning new skills. This termination might be the push that you need to level up. Because many people, they get into companies and stay there for a long time and they get comfortable. Ah, they ain't gonna touch me. They ain't gonna touch me. No. See Mr. Wade coming on with his little shoot, with his nice little shirt on. They have no idea that I own my own company and I work for a company as well, making all kinds of money. She look at me and don't sit next to me on the plane. She looked like the type. Maybe this termination might be the push that she needs to level up. And so for some of you, maybe that termination is the push that you need to level up. Maybe it's time to explore remote work. Maybe it's time to negotiate a higher salary somewhere else. Maybe it's time to start that side business that you've been thinking about. To everyone watching this, learn from her story. Do not let your career depend on one company's decisions. Build multiple streams of income. You should have your main source of income. That's your job. You should make sure that you do that and you do that with excellence. But make sure you're feeding that to something else. It's 6 o'clock right now on a Monday night. Where am I at? Turning up on YouTube. building multiple streams of income, networking with some of my ladder climbers in the chat. I'm learning. You guys are teaching me a whole bunch of new stuff. I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning from my Patreon group. I'm learning from the Discord. I'm learning from the articles that I have to read. This is what you do. And it doesn't have to be jumping on YouTube or TikTok or anything like that, but you have to keep networking. You have to keep learning. You have to keep pushing yourself. You have to build those multiple streams, because in 2025, job security comes from your skills and your network, not from your employer's promises. If you're not building both every single day, you're setting yourself up for a call just like this. If you're not building both every single day, you're setting yourself up for a call just like this lady received. Don't let this be you. I'm telling you, do not let it be you. I've coached so many people who wished they would have done something else outside of their main job until this happens, and now they're doing it. But if you're like my man, the life of Cam, he's already doing it, man. He already got his high side hustles on. My man, life of Cam, what you guys are going to see in August. He's going to come on and tell his story. Military, got out, data analyst, making over 6 figures, bought an apartment complex, investing in other things, multiple streams of income. You don't want this to be you. You don't want this to be you. Let's move on to the next topic real quick. Before I do that, let me jump over to the chats. Jason says, Antoine spitting facts, man. I'm telling you. Kevin Ruiz says, I'm going to start consulting. I work in government and they are cutting my budget behind my back. I'm going to tell you like this, Kevin. It'd be a good opportunity to do so. And what are you waiting on, Kevin? You're a smart game. You are a smart man. Kevin, I remember you economics as well too, right? That's what I tell people often, is you have so many years of experience. People will pay you an enormous amount of money for the experience that you have. Leverage it. Leverage it. What happens is we get so caught up into what we do in the day-to-day life, and we think that's what we can do, and they think that's all that we can do. And life happens, right? Life happens. And then we finally realize that we should have been doing this a long time ago because we have the knowledge. And sometimes it takes these bad things happen to us. Hearing about the budget cuts and all this other stuff in order for us to do it. But you are a smart man. MJ Cannabis says, every employee now have their head on the swivel. I'm telling you, every single one of them. Carl Stein, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, it's a cold world. It is a cold world. MJ Cannabis says, these jobs aren't loyal and you can't remain comfortable. Earl says, HR is the enemy. HR joined that call and told her. Earl also says companies have never been loyal. They haven't, man. They have not. They have not. All right, we got another one that I want you guys to help me react to as well. Let's move on.
Okay, so I just started applying to jobs for software engineering maybe last week. I was inspired by Laura, who's on this platform as well, talking about her experiences, and it was super helpful for me. So I wanted to share my journey and see if it's helpful for other people. For me, I've been working in software for maybe like 9 years, and I've only worked at startups. And so I have never done like a leak code style assessment ever before in my life. Is that funny? Like, I've been at my current company 5 years, and even then I didn't really like go through the interview circuit. I just like interviewed here and that's it. Like, I had a good fit with it, and so I just kind of picked this place and that was it. And so I haven't really done a full interview circuit in a really long time. I've never done leak code style problems, and I also did not graduate CS. And so I never took like data structures and algorithms 101. And
Software engineer, scared of coding tests. Always worked for startups. Now, this is one that I can relate to. This is definitely one that I can relate to, coding tests. And she's scared because her previous jobs didn't require much coding at all. And this is reality of the market that we're in right now. The standards are higher. She worked for a whole bunch of startups, oversaw 9 years as a software engineer. But companies, they got burned hiring people who couldn't actually do the job. So now they're testing everybody. They got burned for people who say they can be developers, especially back in the COVID time when it was hiring a whole bunch of people. Google made those hiring decisions. Microsoft made those hiring decisions. They was hiring everybody to be SDRs, developers, engineers, all sorts of stuff. Many of those people couldn't even code. They went to boot camps, they couldn't code. And companies got burned hiring people who couldn't actually do the job. So now they're testing just about every single person. And here's what I want this young sister to do, man. Here's what I want her to understand as well. Being scared means that you are aware that you have a gap, a skills gap. And that's actually good news. That's real, real good news. Most people don't even realize that they have skill gaps until they're unemployed. If you're a software engineer and coding tests scare you, that's telling you something that's very important. You need to go back to the fundamentals. I don't care how many years of experience that you have. If you can't code under pressure, you're not ready for these new market standards. You're not ready for it. Companies are testing you. And some of these tests are hard, hard, hard. I remember the first time that I took a coding test, I was just like her. I was scared. I blacked out during the interview process because I'd never seen one before. I'm a management information systems major, guys. And I went through, I'm going to tell you like this, probably over 100 interviews by the time that I got the job. So it came down to two jobs. Coca-Cola as a business analyst or Red Prairie, where I started my career as a software engineer. I wanted the software engineer title. Well, I was a young little guy right now. I was like, I got to be an engineer. That's what I went to school for. Now, although I didn't go to school for computer engineering, I had a MIS major in information or computer science minor. So I mixed it, combination of business and technology. But I added the computer science minor because of the fact that I was a computer science major at one point in time. And I said, nah, this is too much. I like to talk to people. I want to understand a little bit more about the business. I want to use my communication skills. I want to use this voice. Being a coder, you couldn't use this voice as much. So I made the switch, but I made sure that I did my minor so I can be technical and be technically sound. But when I'm gonna tell you like this, when I went for that Red Prairie interview, I crushed the majority of it. And my buddy, Nick Miller, he probably come across this video. He probably remembers this too. He's gonna watch this, right? This is what he did to me. He wasn't my friend then during that time or anything like that. He was just a second year software engineer, and he graduated from the Milwaukee School of Engineering. I come there from University of Milwaukee, right? So he wanted to test me. Coming to the interview, looking good, all sharp, nice little suit. Tired as all you know what because I've been up studying for an exam the previous night. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning at this time. I'm riding the waves of me crushing all the typical questions and stuff like that from managers and all that. Asking me about the certain situations and what I've done in college and my GPA and all that sort of stuff. I'm riding high. I'm crushing this. I already got the reps in and so forth. Just knew I was crushing it. Nick comes in and sits down, has a piece of paper in his hand, right? So I'm thinking he's going to use that to take notes. Picks up this paper, bam, slams it on the table. Complete this. What? Look at the paper. Stared at it. Stared at it. Stared at it. It must. I seriously, it must have been like 7 minutes that I looked at that paper. Next thing you know, Nick was like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Oh, I had a long night. I was up all night for studying." Then I started to fill it in. I wanted to know a little bit about Unix commands, Linux commands, and what is CD means and all this other stuff, right? Write a for loop. I couldn't complete the test. I could not complete the test. I blacked out. So I understand why she's scared, because that foundation isn't there. And matter of fact, if you haven't done this sort of stuff, it's pretty scary. It is pretty scary. But here's the good news. Coding skills can be learned and it can be improved. There's Leak Code that exists. There's Hacker Rank that exists. There's Code Signal that exists. And you can practice these tests until they become second nature. You can just practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. Before you know it, you are good. It reminds me of my son during this flag football season, this past flag football season. I gave them a little drills that they couldn't do on the first day of practice. By the fourth week of practice, they're doing it. Good footwork. To where if you guys saw these guys doing the footwork, you're like, wow, well, how did they develop that? Matter of fact, some of the coaches, when I told them what to do and showed them how to do it, they're like, nah, this is too advanced for them. No, it's not. Let them try. Let them try. Every single week they tried. By week 4, they was crushing it. No, let's move on to something else. Same thing that happens when you guys practice code. Get the reps in. You will become better at it. And here's what I will tell her to do. Spend 1 hour every single day practicing coding problems. Just 1 hour. Start with easy problems, build the confidence, then move on to medium difficulty. Join study groups. Find people preparing for the same type of interviews. And stop seeing this as a threat. See it as an opportunity to climb the ladder. See it as an opportunity to level up. She's only worked for startups. Maybe she wants to go and work for Google now. This will open doors for her. This will open doors for her. But here's the thing. Once you've mastered these coding tests, you'll be competing with confidence instead of a whole bunch of fear. It becomes just like I was when I was going through the interview process outside of the coding interview part, crushing it. Every single question that came by, pop, hit it like a baseball, pop. And you got confidence. You get the confidence. You gain confidence in your interviews. And when you have confidence in your interviews, that's worth 20,000, 30,000 more in salary negotiations. So for her, she should use this as fuel to get better and come back stronger. And that's how you turn obstacles into opportunities. Practice, practice, practice. So every time somebody gets something in front of you, pop, remember Uncle Antoine, pop, knock it out of the park. Home run. Let me jump over to the chats real quick. Man, Kevin Rui says, Antoine, not to distract you, but your website was down for a bit. It was, Kevin. It's back up. If you were trying to reach out, go ahead and hit it back, man. BOKHeights.com. Book a session with me, my man. www.bokheights.com. It is back up. It is back working. We are making some changes to it. We got put into the staging environment, my man. Had to go and get it fixed. Darkman Just says, my job's stable, but you just never know. It's true. You never know. My brother Big Damien in the house. What's happening, my man? Good to see you. Kevin Ruiz says, I work in government and I'm quite frankly concerned about the bond markets. When revenues are down, the bonds kick in to help. When countries like Japan and China have no confidence in our bonds, you already know what's happening, man. Then these tariffs hurting the bond markets and the government revenues. Yep. Well, I put it like this. These tariffs, apparently, they're helping the company's revenues. We'll see. At least that's what we're being told, Kevin. We'll see. All right. I got a couple more videos that I want to react to. Let's react to this next one.
You guys, I do my like 3 things I'm grateful for before I go to bed every night, whatever. Let me tell you something, that shit's getting hard. How many times am I gonna be like, I'm grateful for my dog? You know what I mean? Shit fucking blows ass right now. Everything fucking sucks ass so hard. Anyone else?
Mm. All right, y'all heard that. Y'all just heard that. I heard the same exact thing. Look, I hear frustration. I hear the pain. Job searching in 2025, it is absolutely brutal. But swearing and saying that everything sucks on social media, that ain't the move. This young lady needs 2 things: coaching and probably some mental health support. And I'm saying this with love, not judgment. And when you're in this sort of headspace, when everything feels hopeless, you can't make good career decisions. You can't make good life decisions. You can't interview well. You can't network effectively. You can't even see opportunities when they're right in front of you. If you're watching this and you feel like this lady, I need you guys to hear me. Your mental health affects your career opportunities. Your mental health affects your career prospects. If you're depressed, angry, hopeless, that energy comes up through your applications. That energy comes up through your interviews. That energy comes up during your networking. It does. It shows a side of you that people may not like. Companies don't hire negative energy. They hire solutions to problems. So here's what you need to do. If you're in a headspace like this, first you need to get your mind right. You need to talk to someone, get some counseling, work on your mental health. Don't call me. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychologist. Don't call Uncle Antoine. Don't call Brother Antoine. Don't call me. You're gonna have to get somebody else for that kind of coaching. I'm not the one. But here's the thing: you can't pour into an empty cup, and you can't pour from an empty cup. Many people, and I said that wrong. The saying is you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you're depressed, hurt, negative, and you try to feed that to somebody else, it's not going to resonate. It's not going to show up very well. They're not going to receive what you're trying to put down. That's the reality of it. You know how when you're pissed off, you try to have a conversation with your kid and you're trying to have a civil conversation. They aren't picking up what you're putting down. That's exactly what happens when you are pouring from an empty cup. People aren't picking up what you're putting down. And they can see it, they can smell it, they know what's happening. They can see it through body language, they can see it through your eye movement, they can see it through your face, they can see it through your skin. Here's the second thing: step away from social media for a while. Stop consuming content that feeds your frustration. Boy, I've had to have a conversation with my wife most recently about that, right? We live in Texas, and this whole flood thing has been consuming the minds in the mind of many people, in the mind of my wife as well, too. To the point where we're going down to Mexico. And she's seen stories about people going down to Mexico and checking into Airbnbs and, you know, carbon monoxide poison and all this other stuff, right? I'm like, babe, that happens at Airbnbs. That typically doesn't happen at a hotel, right? So she had her carbon monoxide. I'm like, babe, you're just thinking the worst, right? I still had to bring it, but you're just thinking the worst. Stop thinking all these negative thoughts. If it's going to rain, is it going to flood? Stop thinking all these negative thoughts, right? And it's because she's consuming the content that's feeding it. And whenever we get that sort of content, it just feeds us and feeds us and feeds us and feeds us and feeds us. And then you become addicted to it and you start looking for it. And next you know, your world changes, your lens changes. The view that you once had on the world changes. And if somebody doesn't tell you about it, you can go down a dark hole. Because there's other dark people that will suck you into it as well too. But stay off social media for a while is the second point. Third point here is focus on small wins every single day. Whether that is getting up and making your bed and brushing your teeth, that is a win. If you focus on those small wins, you're going to see that you're making progress. And if it's just one application, that's fine. Then fill out another one the second day. Focus on one skill. Focus on one connection made. Stack those small wins every single day. And you do that, you'll see that you're going to be making a lot of progress. It may take you a lot longer, but you're going to be making progress. It's more than what other people are doing, sitting down doing nothing, or just coasting in a job, thinking that they're safe. It's true. And please, more importantly, please, 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 stop posting videos like this. I know it feels good to vent, but hiring managers are watching, man. I'm a hiring manager. I ain't hiring her. I'm not hiring her. Your future boss might see this video and think, is this the energy that I want on my team? All this F words, all this cursing. I want this sister to win. I want this young lady to win. But she's got to get out of her own way first. Success starts with a mindset. Everything else builds from there. And if you need help, get help. There's no shame in getting help. There's no shame. During my generation, there was a lot of shame in getting help. But today, no. If something's wrong, you need to get help. You need to get help. I've gone through dark times in my life too. I'm going to tell you like this, man. I've gone through dark times in my life where I had to get myself off social media. It was during the George Floyd riot situation, man. I got myself caught on this news. It was COVID. It was locked in the house. I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm just watching. I'm like, oh man, it's about to be war around here, man. Starts consuming this content. Next thing you know, I got sleep deprived. Walking out of the house, made sure I have my gun with me every single step, looking at people a certain way. Went to the gas station, just making sure that the guy next to me was pumping his gas. And he wasn't looking at me. I was like, Mom. I called my mom. I was like, man, I need to see somebody, Mom. She's like, what do you mean, baby? I'm like, man, I've been consuming all this content and all this news on CNN, and they're saying how I'm going to be the next George Floyd and all this other stuff, right? All the stuff that they do to make you scared, right? I had to go and see somebody. That's what I had to do. And if you're watching this right now and you're going down a spiral as well, you need to go and see somebody. There's no shame in that. Don't let frustration become your brand. Don't let it. I'm gonna tell you like this: all of us have gone through a lot of things. It just people don't talk about it, but it isn't anything that we should be afraid or ashamed or shame to talk about. I mean, I'll say it. It's crazy. All the social media stuff, man. This stuff will make you crazy. I'm telling you, because it's the algorithm. It's gonna feed it to you every single time that you consume it. It's gonna feed it. It's gonna feed it. It's gonna feed it. You guys ever watch those cop cam, dash cam videos? I watch them on YouTube, right? And the majority of the people who end up on in these situations running from the cops, a lot of it's all alcohol driven. Another reason why I don't drink, right? It's all alcohol driven. But every single time you watch one of those things, another one pops up and another one pops up, and another one pops up. And next you know, it just takes away your energy. Hearing people yell and all this other stuff, it takes away your energy. It's an energy zapper. That's why on these kind of videos, I initially told myself I wouldn't even react to some of these videos because it's just energy zapper after a time. But what I've learned is that I can compartmentalize this because I'm going to be talking about the opportunities that are here and teaching from it. So I don't just look at this and say, oh man, she's just in a dark spot. I say, okay, well, if she's in this dark spot, what can she learn? I'm almost talking to her. And that has helped me. That's why I can do these reaction videos as much as I can do them. Okay. Now let's listen to this last one. Let me jump on the chats before I do that. Antoine, head on a swivel and got this strap just waiting for to George. That was me, MJ Candace. I'm telling you. It was crazy. It was insane. Going to the gas station, looking paranoid. Why are you looking at me, man? Why are you looking at me? Stop looking at me. And I am a licensed carrier, and I choose to carry when I want to carry. I don't carry every single day or anything like that. But during that time, I was carrying every single day. Didn't leave the house without it. Something gonna pop off. World's about to end. When COVID just happened to George Floyd. They're coming to get me, man. Terrible lens. Terrible lens. Anyway, let's move on to the next subject. The last one here.
Okay. Can we just talk about how hard it is to get a job right now? I got laid off around a month ago, but I've been applying, but I feel like I barely even get a response back of like a yes or no or any of that. And I wish there was an easier way to do these like mass applications instead of just doing it through LinkedIn or Indeed, because I feel like there's hundreds and hundreds of applicants and like you'll probably won't hear back from the companies that you're applying for. But yeah, it's rough out here.
She wishes she could do mass applying. She's not hearing back from the applications that she's submitting. This is the classic quantity versus quality mistake. Let me break this down for you guys real quick, because this is where a lot of people, they go wrong. Mass applying is exactly why you're not hearing back. Here's what's happening when you mass apply. You're sending the same generic resume to hundreds of jobs. Your application looks exactly like the other 500 applications that they received. You're not customizing anything. You're not standing out. And companies can tell when you're mass applying. They can tell that you didn't put thought into your application. Here's a game that actually works in 2025. 5 targeted applications per week beats 50 generic applications every single time. Let me explain the math for you guys real quick. If you send 50 generic applications and get a 1% response, that's a half of a response. Okay? If you send 5 targeted applications and get a 20% response rate, that's one real opportunity. Which one moves your career forward? The one that's the real opportunity. And here's what targeting looks like. You should research a company, understand their problems, customize your resume to show how you solve their specific problems. Write a cover letter that shows that you actually researched the role. Find someone at the company on LinkedIn, whatever social media platform, and send them a thoughtful note. That's where sales comes in at. Follow up professionally after applying. Sometimes it's 7 touches. It's no different than cold calling people to close a deal or to try to get them on the phone for an appointment. It's the same exact skills. And this takes time per application, but it gets results. It gets results. To this young lady, this pretty young lady, and anyone else that's thinking that mass applying is the answer, stop trying to work harder, man. You got to start working smarter. You really do. I'm like, it's really about quality over quantity. It's really about quality over quantity. People are sick of the mass applying. People are sick of the AI tools that, is sending your application 500 different times, 500 times a day. It's strategy over spray and play. This is what we teach in my coaching sessions. And your time is limited, but use it to make real connections and real opportunities. That's how you get callbacks. That's how you get interviews. This is what we do every single day if you're in sales. You have to stay on the person that you're trying to reach out to. That's how you get a job. That's how you close deals. That's how you close sales. That's why I love that I went into sales, because it taught me everything. Mass applying for sales, it doesn't work. People don't answer their emails like that unless you make it personal. Mass applying is what desperate people do. Strategic applying is what successful people do. I learned that in sales. This is what I teach for my coaching sessions as well. So which one are you going to be? You're going to be the person that goes out there and mass applies to 500 applications a day? Go ahead and do that if you want. But I'm teaching you the guys the game. Be strategic with your applying. Don't y'all guys, hopefully you guys see a pattern here with all these reaction videos. There's a big pattern. Generation Z is crashing out over TikTok. Ivy League graduates are struggling. 8-year employees are being terminated. Software engineers are scared of tests. There's people having mental breakdowns. Someone wanting to mass apply. These are different situations, but the same underlying problem. Nobody taught these guys how the game really works. School, what does it do? It teaches you guys theory. It teaches us theory. The streets, the streets, the streets, the streets is what teaches you strategy. And if you don't learn strategy, you're going to struggle no matter how smart you are, no matter where you went to school, no matter how many years of experience that you have. That's why I'm going to be here every single morning. Give you guys a strategy that nobody else will. And here's the thing. Talent without strategy is just potential. And potential doesn't pay the bills. Strategy does. And if you want real strategy, not just surface level advice that you'll find on a lot of these damn videos in a lot of people's channel, you need to be part of the Heights community. That's where we talk about these reactions. That's where we talk about how to apply to jobs. That's where we talk about how to use ChatGPT to customize your resume. How to use ChatGPT to make sure you get the best cover letter, or Claude. Job search strategies, mental health and career success, skills that actually pay, networking that works, jobs that you should be applying to. $5 gets you guys access to that, and that could change your life, your financial situation. Check out the link in the description. Join the Heights. Now we're going to move on to the last subject. Ant Dog says, I'm thinking about connecting and working international. That won't be a bad idea, Kevin. That won't be a bad idea, man. I put it like this. Working international is something that I did before, and I absolutely loved it. Me and my family moved to Malaysia for 2.5 years. The best times of my career and the best times of my life, man. It was absolutely a lovely, marvelous time, and I would do it again. Ant Dog says, I feel naked if I leave the house without it. The road rage is wicked in Houston. I got to have that steamer on me. I hear you, Ant Dog. Believe me, it's close by, but sometimes I don't have it on my hip. Crazy. Life of Cam says, the quality over quantity strategy worked for me. It took me just 60 days. He's right. Life of Cam is going to get on here and tell his story. Life of Cam is going to be on here to tell his story. I'm going to tell you like this, man. I'm so proud of him. And we got so many success stories in the Heights community. But I'm very proud of Life of Cam, man. We've been working together for a very long time, and he's absolutely crushed it. Let's talk about something else. The best job markets. Another article came across my news feed from Business Insider on the job markets, right? This is something that you may like, brother Kevin Ruiz. It's something that you may like. Let's jump into the metrics real quick. You guys see this? Check this out. This is where opportunities are hiding. Business Insider dropped data on the best job markets in 2025. Austin, Texas, unemployment at 3.2%. Average tech salary has gone up 12% from last year. Miami, Florida, they're building a tech hub. Remote companies are setting up offices. Salaries are competitive with Silicon Valley, but cost of living is way lower than Silicon Valley. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Miami is expensive. We were just talking about Miami today. It is expensive there, but it is a tech hub. Salt Lake City, Utah, tech companies are expanding there. Unemployment is under 3%, and they are hungry for talent. Here's a game that nobody's teaching you guys. You don't have to move to these cities to benefit from these job markets. Here's what you guys can do. First, you should filter your LinkedIn or any job platform that you're using, filter the searches by these cities, but look for remote opportunities and remote positions. Companies headquartered in hot job markets are usually growing and they're hiring remote. Okay. The second thing that you should do is research companies expanding in these areas. They need talent and they're willing to pay for it. The third thing that you should do is consider the move if you're stuck where you are. And I'm a small town guy. I mean, like I moved from Orangeburg, South Carolina, to where opportunities were, which was in Wisconsin. I can't even say it, which was in Wisconsin at the time, where I am right now. Now, this is not where I live right now, but this is home. This is where I grew up. Moved from Orangeburg, South Carolina, to the state of Wisconsin. Changed my entire life. Changed my entire life. I had an opportunity to stay back. Nope, didn't want to, but it changed my entire life, to the trajectory of where I would have gone. Now, let me ask you guys something, and I want you guys to be honest in the chat. Please, 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 please be honest. Be honest. If you're offered a $120,000 remote job tomorrow, but the opportunity was headquartered, or the company was headquartered in Miami. Let me put it like this: $120,000 headquartered in Miami, and they wanted you to visit the office once a quarter. Would you take that opportunity? Answer that in the chat for me, guys. If you were offered a $120,000 remote job tomorrow, but the company was headquartered in Miami, and they wanted you to visit the office once a quarter, would you take the job? 4 times a year, Miami, would you take the job? Or would you stay where you are making $60,000 a year because you're comfortable? That's what I want to know. Remote? Visit Miami 4 times a year? Stay where you are making $60,000 a year working in a warehouse because you're comfortable. You don't want to travel. Darkman Jeff says, yep, I'll take it. Kevin Ruiz says, I would, no brainer. NC Worker says, yes. MJ Cannabis says, under 20K is too small. No, hell no. Lava Can said, heck yeah. A free quarter vacation and I can be a digital nomad. Antog says, we in Miami, baby. NC Worker said, I don't care where the headquarters is. I was like, most of y'all are saying, hell yes, I take it. And you got one person that says 120,000 is too small. I can't move. I can't move like that. I mean, put it like this, man. Darkman Jess says, I stay in South Carolina, so I can definitely eat off 120K. Makes sense, man. It makes sense. NC Realtor says yes. NC Worker says headquarters could be in Ukraine. She said she's willing to go to the war zone. Oh, I love it. I love it, NC Worker. She said she's willing to go to the war zone where Russia is dropping bombs. Let me get that 120K. I'll go there once a quarter. Nah, Ukraine is beautiful, especially Kiev. I hear nothing but good things about it. Nothing but good things about it. But I don't know, man. They getting bombed right now. But hey, man, I mean, like, I get it. I get it. But here's the thing though, for many people. Many people aren't like ladder climbers that are in this chat right now. Many people don't want to type it in or anything like that because they're comfortable. And comfort is expensive. I mean, staying where you are because it's familiar might cost you $60,000 a year for the rest of your career. I know people who will not do it. I know people who won't move. I know a lot of people who won't do it. You guys know them too. And you got some of the people who are in this chat. They're just not talking about it. They're not saying it. They won't move. They're still depending on mom and dad. They still want to go see their nieces and nephews. Yet they're going to complain. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're responsible for your life. If you are only making $60,000 a year and you are struggling, and you got an opportunity to make $120,000 a year by going to Miami 4 times a year or going to wherever else 4 times a year, and you're not going to take that opportunity because you want to be comfortable in your little city, but you broke, that's on you. Comfort is expensive. That's $60,000 that you're laying and you're leaving on the table. And for what? Because you don't want to visit Miami 4 times a quarter? You don't want to visit Ukraine for 4 times a quarter? We got people who are willing to go and do it and be in a war zone. Chilling outside, eating yourself some some whatever Ukrainian food that they have out there, enjoying your time. Boom, bomb blows up. Bomb. Not next to you, but you can hear it. Think about the people who are in Israel. Having a nice little dinner, boom, rocket hits. Iran. That's what happens. But people are still willing to take those opportunities. I mean, y'all got to start thinking like business owners about your careers. Y'all really have to do that. I know people who their moms and dads don't want them to leave the state. They can't leave the state. They can't take the other job opportunities. I got to say, my family, nope. My mom said, you can go wherever you want. Bye. Trusted I was going to be like that. My mother-in-law said the same thing to her sons. Same thing. It's about your career. Gonna go and do it. What decisions today set you up for the next 5 years? And a lot of it is around moving. I mean, I've moved a lot in my life, man. Many people ask me, God darn, you been in the military? How you been in Orangeburg? Then you went to Wisconsin. Next you know, you went to Atlanta. Then you went to Malaysia. Then you went to California. Then you went to Texas. God dang, Antoine, how many times you moved? I moved a lot. Military? Nope. Software, technology. But it's really set me up to have success in my career. And I would tell you like this, I would do it all again for the right amount of money. I would do it again for the right experiences. I would be in Ukraine too, sitting next to a whole bunch of good Ukrainian people. Boom, bomb blows up. Bomb. Dang, y'all heard that? Start up. I might pick up my camera and start putting it on TikTok then. I would do it though. I seriously would. I mean, seriously, look at what they're paying the people in these markets. Austin, $95,000 a year to $140,000 a year. Miami, $85,000 a year to 125. Salt Lake City, 180 to 120. I mean, you got to apply to companies in these types of markets. You have to. You have to. You got to, man. That's how you level up. That's how you find remote jobs. Go to the cities, target these markets, and you can find the rest of the markets on Business Insider. There's a ton of them out there. There's over 20 markets right now with the lowest unemployment. And these are the ones that you should definitely be looking at. And make sure you filter by these. Let me jump over to the chat real quick. Jason, great gift. I appreciate you, man. Lava Can says, my brother has excellent soft skills and B2C sales skills and IT support experience. He's making 40K a year when he could be making 80K or more. More than likely, it's because he doesn't want to move. Don't want to move around. NC Worker says, yes, he is. LOL. MJ Cannabis says, Miami, you have to come correct. 400K. Now, living in Miami, you're absolutely right. You're at MJ Cannabis, you are absolutely right. Living in Miami, you got to make a lot of money, man. Especially when you live pretty well. Only Square says, on my way to Utah. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, brother Jabron. Darkman Jeff says, I understand that's not the case with everybody, though. Yeah, man. A lot of people don't move. I would. I have to get up out of here, man. I would get up out of there. A mom and dad who's maybe depending on me. I love you, mom and dad, but gonna have to rely on somebody else right now. You gotta go get this money. Or you want to come with me? That's how I always did it. So far, it served me well. It's tough. I mean, believe me, I know it's tough to leave. It's very, very tough to leave. But sometimes those are the best ways to grow. Get up out of the areas that you grew up at. And I can tell you this personally, for me, even leaving Wisconsin helped me grow a significant amount. Going to Atlanta, leaving Atlanta helped me grow a significant amount. Going to Malaysia helped me grow a significant amount. And leaving there, it was fantastic. Jason says, yes, I will take the job in Miami. Darwin Jess says, I'm honestly contemplating a relocation opportunity within the next year or so. Don't be, I would say, if the opportunity is right for you, Dr. Jeff, do it. Get out your side of your comfort zone, man. You never know, man. You want to get married. You want to get married. You should do it. You definitely should do it. You never know. You might find the woman that you want. You never know, man. You might make some really good contacts, build a really strong brotherhood. That's the thing. When you move, you have to depend on yourself and you have to depend on people that you meet. They become your family. They become your brothers, your sisters, and so forth. And it's good. That's how you build a really long-term relationship with people that y'all been through things before. Life Can says, living and traveling international gave me a millionaire mindset, right? You get to see so many people doing different things all over the world. And us Americans, we're so limited in our views. And we think the United States is the best thing that's smoking. Don't get me wrong. It is in some instances. But we think that other places aren't as good as us. And some things they aren't. And some things they are, though. But all right, ladder climbers, man. Let me wrap this thing up. Wrap this thing up with some real talk here. Tonight, y'all saw three things. Google's paying $300K to people with the right skills. New grads are struggling because nobody taught them the game. And opportunities exist. You just got to know where to look and where to find them and where and you have to be willing to make a move sometimes. And here's what I want you guys to do this week, man. Pick one skill that Google values, especially if you're in a situation where you want a new job, situation where you want to make more money, you want to make that Google type money. Pick one skill that Google values or any other company values. It doesn't matter. I use Google as an example, but it could be Microsoft, it could be a startup. Pick one skill that they value. Could be data analysis, could be project management, could be operations management, could be sales, could be any of that sort of stuff. And then spend 30 minutes a day learning about it. Could be just watching a YouTube video on it and getting away from all the dumb stuff that we consume. 30 minutes a day. I'm going to tell you like this, man. 30 minutes a day is a lot. And I get a chance to see the little kids that I coach for basketball and football spend 1 hour a week on something, and they become so skilled at it in 8 weeks. And 30 minutes a day comes out to be about what? 3 hours a week? Something like that, right? If my math is right. That is a lot of success and a lot of progress in a short amount of time. 30 minutes a day learning it. Don't do it someday. Start tomorrow. And if you're serious about leveling up your career, become part of the Heights community in the Patreon. These are the conversations that we're going to continue to have. We're going to continue to have these on a weekly basis. We're going to be talking about specific job leads. I'm going to be giving them to you. Salary negotiation tips, direct access to me. Ask me a question on Discord. I'll answer it. Link in the description. It's only $5. And remember this, guys. Starting next month, mid-August. I'm going to put a time frame on it. It's going to be mid-August because I got to get back to the studio. And we're not going to be leaving Wisconsin until August the 3rd. And then we're going to spend about 4 days making that trip. We're going to be doing this Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Central. Same energy, real talk, same commitment to helping you guys climb the ladder. That's what I'm going to be doing. And if this has been helpful for you guys tonight, go ahead and smash that like button, man. Smash that like button. Go ahead and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Right? I want you guys to share this sort of content with people. Now that I had a cigar out there, I'm looking at my darn teeth, man. You guys didn't tell me I had something in my teeth. I had something in my teeth. You guys didn't tell me, man. What's up with that, y'all? Maybe you guys weren't looking at my mouth. I got something in my teeth, man. Right before this, I had to smoke a cigar to get my energy. That's the only stimulus that I have these days. No alcohol, no sugar, none of that stuff, man. Antoine got off it, and y'all can see, turned into a little bit slimmer. Lost about 40 pounds over the last 2 years. Got another 10 more to go. Another 10 more to go. But it's been discipline. It's waking up early in the morning, get my walks in, get my lifts in. Cutting out the sugars, no alcohol. It's helped. Significant. You guys, drop it in the chat, man. Drop it in the chat what your biggest takeaway was from tonight. I want to hear from you guys. Drop it in the chat. I would love to hear what you guys takeaway was. I'm gonna be watching this over the next couple minutes. But I see y'all. I appreciate y'all. Keep climbing. And we'll see you guys on the next show next Monday. I'll be in Washington, D.C. with my nephews, my cousin, and having a good time. Let's go to work, man. Take care.